When you play a game, you usually feel like you are in control, right? And don't start blaming your teammates, we all know they are not the problem. So for the next couple of days, I want to make a game completely based on not being in control. But I'll get back to explaining that later. Oh, and my cat is in my lap while recording this, so if you hear purring, that's why. Let's start off with creating a new project. You are not the main character. And create. Let's start out with making a little test platform for our guy to walk around on. There we go, stretch this guy out. Perfect. And then now we're gonna make us. This little bean boy right here, it's you and me. And this right here is our son Billy. We think he's got some problems. If you haven't seen my latest video, then you might not know that I recently quit Gamedev for over 1 year. So this is my first 3D game back. So let's just say I struggled a bit here. Okay, we're getting closer. Now we're just falling over like an old man, but it's fine. And now we're moving. Perfect. As you saw from the title of this video, in this game, we are not actually gonna be the main character. I found this video by a great game dev YouTuber called BadAtCode. He made a game where you play as one part of a group of AIs that is trying to beat the actual player of the game. I thought this was a really cool concept and I wanted to do my own spin on it. This game will be all about deforestation. The main character is an AI that walks around cutting down trees in order to collect materials to build his house. The only problem is that this forest is filled with villagers that want to protect their land and their trees from this evil character. You will be playing as one of the villagers, but you won't have any fancy powers or super strength like the player usually does in video games. Instead, that is given to the main character. I want the player to feel really weak compared to the main character, and I will show you how I'll do that later on in this video. But first, I want my game to look pretty instead of whatever this is. I began with jumping into Blender and get started with the lumberjack. I gave him the usual lumberjack looking clothes, a big head with a mustache and an even bigger and fuller single eyebrow. And it honestly turned out pretty good, even though he looks like every single Pixar dad. I'll get back into modeling and making some animations soon after I change up the map. So we're just gonna delete this and create a new terrain. There we go. That's kind of big, but I kind of like it that way. Now I'll just add some mountains just to, you know, make sure the area isn't totally flat. Yeah, this looks pretty good, I think. I'm also gonna quickly download this nature pack here and add some grass and a couple of dirt roads. I could easily just take these beautiful looking trees that came with the pack, but instead I want to make something that feels a little bit more like me, aka worse. So I made these instead. Now let's get to the good parts. Programming the lumberjack. I haven't imported a model yet since I wanted the coding to be done first, so I gave him some random AI movement between points that I usually use for all my 3D games. I also made him huge since he's going to be all powerful and stuff. I finally got to adding the lumberjack model into the game, and I also used Mixamo to make some animations for walking around, and also one for swinging his axe. And yes, I used the same axe that I made in my last game. I was proud of it. I'm not making another one. If the lumberjack happens to walk past a tree, he will walk up to it and cut it down. To make it look not boring, I added some animations and particle effects to the tree. But a survival game wouldn't be any fun without enemies, so I made these tree villagers in Blender. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better with 3D modeling, since these are my old models. I still gotta learn how to texture though. I gave them a couple of animations in Mixamo and added them to the game. The only thing they know how to do as of now is to run straight towards the enemy really dramatically. Like, look at them, they think they're in an anime or something. And then just dance around in a circle. So to do some damage, I armed the villagers with their own axes. And then I got fancy with it, adding some blood particles to indicate damage, of course using the Unity particle system. I added a health bar to the villager and the main character, so you could get some indications on how close they are to dying. And this made the fight look so much better. To make the main character be able to hit the villagers, I made a large hitbox where you can slice down on the villagers, just like a big AoE attack. And this attack mode gets activated when the player or the villager gets close to the lumberjack. I then coded a subtle but effective camera shake and added a bunch of villagers.
My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
And the giant man won. Who could have guessed? But as of now, you aren't participating. What are you doing? Just standing there watching? Go press the subscribe button or something. So now we actually add us into the game. We are still just a bean, but that doesn't really matter right now since the game is first person anyways. Just ignore the shadow. You can't see it. Just ignore it. Instead, I gave the player the same axe as his villager friends and made a swing animation. And now you can fight the lumberjack yourself. And yes, he is scary. I added some camera shakes to when the player hits the main character and some blood particles, as well as adding a cooldown down on the player's attacks to make the game even harder. Next up, I added some slight post-processing and some motion blur, and then I spammed on trees, rocks, and other bushes to make the forest feel more alive. What I wanted to add next is a day-night cycle. Unfortunately, that meant I had to switch from the old placeholder skybox to this new one, but the end results were totally worth it, and we have a working day-night cycle. And thank you to this YouTuber for explaining how to make it. Basically, all it does is lerp between a day, night, sunrise, and sunset skybox over the span of 24 hours, as well as changing the fog colors and the direction of the sun to give the map moving shadows. And this sunset is actually beautiful. It's almost like I'm outside touching grass. I have an idea for the game loop that revolves around the main villager base. So in Blender, I made a tent and a campfire and started building the villager's home. You can really do so much simple but great looking things with particles, just like this fire. Next up, I added a simple slider that displays the time, with the sides being midnight and the middle being the day. This will become really important now since we're adding fatigue to the game. I didn't really want to add another slider for the fatigue since I thought the UI would get too crowded with too many sliders everywhere. So instead, I had a completely different idea. A couple of minutes before midnight, the villager speaking bubble pops up telling you that it's almost midnight. And that means you should go back to the villager base and go back to sleep. If you still didn't return to the main base, he gets angrier and tells you to come back now. If you get back in time, you get some rest and get back to attacking the lumberjack in the morning. But if you don't, you die. I focus a lot of time on the villager, or you, I guess, so I'll turn my attention to the player. Right now, all he does is cut down trees and one-type villagers. And except from this, what do all great survival games have in common? Building houses. So I got to modeling in Blender and created this masterpiece out of a couple of logs. So the player's new goal is to destroy the entire forest to build this house. Every tree he cuts down, he gets one wood, and the player actually needs to cut everything down to complete his house. So this kind of works as an indicator of how much time you have left to kill the lumberjack before you lose, instead of just yet another slider. And if the villagers don't manage to kill him in time, he wins. But right now, this is a bit difficult since you only have this one friend. So next up, we need to add spawning of villagers. And here I had a lot of issues. The first problem I had was that the villagers just spawned in at the exact same spot. So to fix this, I gave them a random spawn point around the camp. I also struggled with the day and night cycles, since I, for some reason, made it go both backwards and forwards. Spawning didn't want to work every morning because of this. But finally, I made it so at the start of the game in the morning, the villagers spawn. When they spawn, they will hang out for a little bit until they realize the lumberjack is destroying their forest, and they instantly run towards the lumberjack to kill him. Here they fight all day, using all their power and probably die. This is actually so brutal, they just get slaughtered. But when the time hits 8 PM or when the sun goes down, the remaining surviving villagers will run straight back to camp, just like you will have to when you get the message earlier. And if the villagers don't make it all the way to the camp, they will fall down and die. And now the gameplay loop is pretty much done. You are just another obstacle in this world of deforestation and house building. You don't really matter. If you disappear, everything would still be the same. But you can still make a difference. If you work together with your friends, you can deal the final blow and kill your oppressor. But you might be wondering, what happens if the player manages to destroy the entire forest and build his new house? Well, he can either make peace with the villagers, apologizing, and work together to plant and rebuild the forest, even stronger than before, ending with everyone living happily ever after. Or he can just kill them and destroy the base. Since you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And YouTube thinks you will enjoy this video on your screen, so why not click it and see if they're right?